Hi, I'm Chef John Maxwell. Welcome to Heart of the Home at Meadow Hall in Meadow Event Park, Doswell, Virginia. We're going to play with something a little unusual for TV. I've got a rabbit, and we're going to make rabbit in the Madeira style. Now, Madeira uses the Madeira wine, but it's named after the island of Madeira in the Atlantic Ocean, where Christopher Columbus's wife was born. All right, we'll get into that later, perhaps, but first we're going to start with this rabbit. We're going to braise this, right, which means we have to cut it up into sections, and I'm going to do that now. Just taking the pieces off. Now you can do the entire rabbit, and I suggest that you do, but you can also get rabbit in pieces. And if you want them in pieces, just ask for the pieces you need. And the legs are the pieces that do best in this recipe. So I'm just going to put that over there. All right. I'm going to cut this into a slightly smaller chunks and put it down in seasoned flour. I can usually bounce those little pieces into a cup. Okay, so we're going to take these, and it should be almost hot enough. I'm always messy with flour. So I'm going to brown these off in here. And what we want to do is just brown this off a little bit. We're not going to actually cook the rabbit in this stage. I mean, this is going to take a couple of minutes. We want to get that nice and brown on one side, then we're going to turn it over. All right. The rabbit pieces are kind of browned off. I'm going to pull them out. All right, so I'm going to add some garlic. And I'm going to add some fennel. And I'm going to add some chorizo sausage. Now, there's a couple of different kinds of chorizo sausage. This is a Madeira Island recipe, so it's best with good Portuguese-style chorizo sausage, which is not real hot. Right? The Spanish style that you can get from South America or from Spain is pretty hot. Now, fennel is an interesting, almost anise or tarragon-y, licorice kind of taste. And the capital of the Madeira Islands is a city called Funchal, which it means fennel in Portuguese. So this is one of the reasons why this dish gets its name. Okay, now we're going to add some tomato paste. All right. And we're going to do a process called pincer. Now, pincer means to cook the tomato paste until the oils start to separate. Right? It caramelizes the tomato and the sugars in the tomato, which makes it a little sweeter. Now, we're ready for the wine. We're going to deglaze this pot with some wine. And I've got Madeira wine. I'm going to put it in there. Now, wine, of course, has alcohol in it, but alcohol evaporates at 170 degrees, and we're cooking this at 312. So as soon as it hits the pot, that alcohol is gone. It evaporates out, so there isn't any there. All right, now we're going to add some onions, some turnips, some leeks, and stir all that up. I'm going to add some chicken stock. And let that simmer. I'm going to throw a couple of bay leaves and a little bit of thyme. And now the rabbit goes back. Now comes the hard part. We have to watch this pot till it boils. No, I'm just kidding. This is going to take about 30 minutes on low heat to kind of simmer and go and cook that rabbit until it's good and tender. I can't wait to get into this. And I'm going to take a few of these pieces out, all right, and center them on this. Make sure I get some of all the vegetables. Sprinkle it with a little bit of parsley. And we are all set with rabbit stew. Actually, it's braised Madeira style rabbit. There we go. Every week we make recipes using great Virginia grown food. We make them in our kitchen so you can make them in your kitchen. Join us next week on Heart of the Home when we get to play with more great Virginia food.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on Chef Maxwell's website, chefjohnmaxwell.com.